I'm Real Generic Demon, and this is What's on a Tape, Season 11, Volume 2. I'll be brutally honest with you, I'm not looking forward to this one. Last week we had this tape. Most of it was loading and nothing really happened. We had a lot of failures and a lot of broken things, so I'm not really looking forward to the side 2 of this tape. It was a mammoth task, including pauses and all kinds of things from my point of view to sort of load it in the background, see if we could get something to go and something to work. So I'll be honest. I'm not really looking forward to side 2 of this tape. But anyway, this is what we've got. It's a Spanish tape. Hopefully we'll find something interesting and good. And hopefully side 2 is better than side 1. But you never know. But before we move on and I put this in the tape drive, I've got to remind you of the decision for the end of the season. So we have 2 tapes, or 2 options for compilations. We have the Computer Hits 1, which has this lovely selection of sort of Brian Jackson Superstar and Chucky Egg and Jasper and future projects, Overlords, School Days, Harry Attack, and a few others. So we got that one. It's either that one or this one, which is Computer Hits 2, which is basically got codename Matt, Wizard's Lair, Technical Ted, Mutant Monty, Android 2, On the Run, Covenant, Super Pipeline 2, Circus, and a few others. So that is the other option for the end of the season. So you let me know in the comments. I've had a few comments on the previous one on which one you fancy, but those are the 2 options: so Computer Hits or Computer Hits 2. So options for the end of the season. Anyway, I'm going to get this into a tape drive.
Hi. Right, okay, the tape is in the drive, so we'll go down to the old basic and loaded dit. Now, the eagle eyes amongst you might have noticed that I've actually gone with a +2 production line grey today. So this is one, this kind of the one of the most compatible ones. So I've gone with that because, well, last week we had so many problems. I've given the tape a massive clean, so there's been lots of cleaning going on with the tape. So fingers crossed that actually means we might get something that loads. Maybe, we'll see. But yes, I have gone with the +2 production line, so the grey one. So this is kind of like the overlap between the Toast Rack, the 128K, and the merge with Amstrad, or should I say the takeover by Amstrad, and then we go from there. So fingers literally crossed that this is the fix of the problem. Now, is this called RHS? Royal something or other? RHS, no idea, not heard of it before, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, as I say, fingers crossed, touch everything that, wherever else it is, and we'll hope that this loads this time round. Last week was a bit of a disaster actually on the scale of things. We see 2 games, I think it was, over the course of an hour and 10 minutes. 2 games. Pretty bad, including one with a 12-minute load, which we actually I bypassed for you guys, just so you didn't actually have to sit through it, considering the amount of problems we actually had. So, I have a cup of coffee. What have you got? I hope you've got a beverage. That's what it's all about. I've got my Adventure Time mug today. I don't know if you've ever seen Adventure Time, but I really like Adventure Time. It's kind of a skit on role-playing games and sort of Dungeons and Dragons of the time and other things. Oh, I hope it's going to load, though, because look at the screen. It's got little dodgy marks on it. Rocky Horror Picture Show. I like this game. This is a good game. I'm not sure that it's going to load, though, because it's got those little marks on the screen. But the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I like Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's based on the original TV game. It's based on a movie of the same name. Well, actually, is it a movie? It's more like a musical, isn't it? It's a movie and a musical at the same time. Was it Tim Curry that featured in it? And Richard O'Brien played Riff Raff, the butler. Basic story of it is that we had I guess a strange house. A couple of young teenagers turn up. There's a lot of sort of harmless titillation, I guess, with sort of some nudity and other things. Worried for a minute that wasn't going to work. Some nudity and a few other things, and it's a bit of a cult classic. They do sing-alongs of it nowadays as a movie. You can go along and you can dress up as Frankenfurter. Wasn't that was his name? The Frankenfurter was the kind of beast that was there. It starred Meatloaf. Remember Meatloaf? He's still around. I'd do anything for love, but I won't do that. Well, actually, to be fair, he did clarify what that was, so we won't worry about that. but yeah, it started a whole bunch of raft of people. It was kind of that. Was it 80s or 90s? I want to say 80s, but I can't help feeling it was the early 90s that the movie came out. I mean, I might be wrong. You can put it in the comments below. You always do. But I have a feeling it was sort of maybe late 80s, early 90s that it came out. And it was... And I think it's, as I say, I think it's a cult classic more than anything else. I think those people who come and see it in the future have gone, wow, that's alright, actually, especially with all the musical features that are in it and all the other bits and pieces. It's a Rocky Horror. Well, it's a Rocky Horror Picture Show, wasn't it? So that's what it was called. Was it Rocky Horror Picture Show or was it Rocky Horror Show? I can't remember now, actually. Always thought it was the Picture Show, but I may be wrong. Anyway. So how has your week been? It's been a busy week. It's been a busy old week. We've had the Euro 2020, haven't we? We've had the kick-off of that, and it's going to be an interesting one because I don't want to disturb anybody with football because I'm not a big football fan. I like playing football. I used to like playing football anyway until I damaged my knee. I don't really follow any teams, so I don't do that. In my job, I'm lucky enough to look after a number of football clubs, but I don't follow them particularly. I just follow them for more business than any other reason. When it comes to football and internationals and European Cups and things like that, I do like to watch those. I've always been sort of an avid sort of supporter of those, and I go back to those days of '96 and '98. Those were big years for me. I really enjoyed those with the England side. I still think '96 was the best England side that I've ever seen. Anyway, and I think that they had the right kind of manager. Of course, he had to leave in disgrace because of his managerial ways of working. Apparently, but unfortunately, at the same time, he's one of the best managers for England. He understood English players, and I still think that to this day that Terry Venables is one of the best managers of England. And it was a very short-lived thing, by the way, but he did really well. It didn't work. I'm not surprised. It didn't load. Let's get it on PlayZX and we'll go from there. So hang on a second. Let's give that a whirl. But mind you, that was a better load attempt than any one we've had previously. So I'm quite pleased with that one. Let me see if I can find Rocky Horror Show. I'm sure it'll be on here. I can't believe it won't be on here. Let me just find Rocky Horror Show. Rocky Horror Show on PlayZX. But we had obviously the England match on Monday, and we had. Let's find Rocky. Oh, is it not going to be on here? It's not. I think. Ooh, unless it's the Rocky Horror. Is it that bad in the searching? Oh, it's not. It's not going to be on here. The Rocky Horror Show. Right, okay. We'll carry on, and I'll see if I can find my original tape, and we'll have a look at that at the end of the whole thing. I'm sure I can find a special version of it anyway. Right, okay, let's do load it, and we'll go from here, and we'll go see what else is on here. Well, that was a good start, sort of. We didn't quite get to load the game, but we got kind of there. In the sense of doing that. So, but we've had one win, we've had one draw against the Scottish. The Scottish will be very happy with I suspect with the draw. The English less so, because we would have hoped to have won that against the Scottish. And it's really interesting for me because I live right on the border. So as an English person living on the English side of the border, but spending a lot of my working life over the border, it's funny because I got a fair bit of ribbing as it came because I was over the border on yesterday and being the Friday of the England match. And I got a fair bit of ribbing, as you would expect, for being an Englishman in Scotland and whatever else it is. It was quite funny. However, my favourite part was we visited a farm shop on the way back, just because my colleague wished to pick up some milk that he'd ordered, so he picked up this, popped up to this farm shop on the way back, and in this farm shop they had the Scotland flags flying and all this kind of stuff, and I thought, yeah, it's fine, that's great, oh, what a classic, what a great tape, this is going to turn out to be if there's all loads. Anyway, so we got this farm shop, we popped in and there's flags flying, all the Scottish flags flying, and got in there, and she had a Northamptonshire accent. The owner. They'd moved to Scotland. I like it. I like that kind of irony, you know what I mean? It wasn't an England flag, it was just a Scotland flag. We just got a Scotland flag, quite clearly from the Midlands. So yeah, it was quite funny, really. Anyway, Dynamite Dan. Wow, this is class. This is a great game. Dynamite Dan. I went on a mission to find. I think I played it on. Somebody's recommended it to me, and I think I played it on the Amstrad CPC. And the Amstrad CPC version of Dynamite Dan is absolutely sublime. It's a really good version of it. It's on my channel if you want to find it. Go have a little look. Dynamite Dan. Dynamite Dan on the Commodore 64 is okay. It's not quite as beautiful as the Amstrad CPCs, in my opinion. And the Spectrum version, well, this is another fantastic version of it. So if you have to rate them in order, and I know this is a Spectrum thing, but if I have to rate them in order, I'm going to have to go with the Amstrad CPCs just because of the colours and the way that it looks over the Spectrum's one, which is phenomenally good with a higher resolution of graphics, but maybe they're on par. Maybe it's a dead heat. Maybe it's a dead heat because the Spectrum has the higher resolution of graphics, but the Amstrad CPC has the palette and the lack of colour clash. Maybe it's a dead heat between the two, but the Commodore 64 is slightly below that. That's the one below. That's the kind of loser of the whole thing. So if there is a loser. Because it's just so slightly, it's those pastel colours. We've discussed this before, and I've discussed it many times. And I get told off by the Commodore community because I do like playing what I call the big machines. So the Spectrum, the Commodore, the Amstrad, because they all kind of good numbers. And then you've got BBC and the Acorn sort of land. They're good numbers as well, sort of a par with the Amstrad. So Spectrum and Commodore were big ones for the United Kingdom. But I have to get into trouble with the Commodore community because they say to me, I have to say that the palette is washed out. It's a very washed out palette, whereas the Spectrum is loud and proud, which is completely reasonable. And that washed out palette apparently was really well and looked at, and what we need, and this, that, and the other. But it came at a strange time for me. You know, that washed out palette came at a strange time for me. It came at a time when neon colours and tie-dye and sort of the 80s was shouting, you know, make it lime green, make it bright magenta, all this kind of stuff, all those colours. And the arcade games of the time, which were standard for quality machines and quality games, were all bright and loud and in your face. And then Commodore went, well, we'll tell you what, we'll just wash all the colours out of that. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Because the Spectrum's loud and proud, and the Amstrad CPC's loud and proud, and even the BBC is quite a loud sort of palette. The Icon Electron is also, but not quite, because you can only get about 4 colours on screen at any one time, which is a bit disappointing actually, realistically. But it's still quite a louder palette. As I say, the Commodore is kind of right at the bottom when it comes to that washed out thing. And they said, you know, they spent a lot of time working on that, and I assume that was after the Commodore 16, because Commodore 16 obviously didn't have sprite rendering, and that actually has a much brighter, more arcade-like palette. Than oh, this is brilliant that this is loaded. This is excellent. So much brighter and louder sort of palette. So I mean the instructions for this. It's a simple one. This one. This is Doctor. I can't remember his name. Let's press I for the instructions and find out. So it's Dr. Blitzen and his glamorous assistant Donna. So I'm guessing Donna and Blitzen as in Santa's reindeer. Donna, Blitzen, Rudolph, and all the other one. And I can't remember. The Comet's one of them, isn't it? Whatever, those ones. And he's building a super mega ray, and his adversary, Dynamite Dan, has to sign to thwart his scheme, basically, of world domination. He comes to complete the stage of the missions by landing on his Zeppelin. I love the fact that he lands a Zeppelin. He creeps in slowly with a Zeppelin. Yeah, All right, and he got on the roof of the building, and he's got to find Blitzen safe. But he needs 6 stacks of dynamite to blow Blitzen safe, to stop the plans, to escape the Death Star, and end the evil Empire's reign of doom. It's good. It looks really good. AS and space to jump. That's cool. I like that. Keep an eye on the energy levels and indicating the power. You need food. Keep it going. Right, and so you got your food for more energy, basically, and then you've got lives when you die, when you touch things. It's one of my faves. I say I went on a bit of a mission to find this back in the day. It did take me a little bit of finding, if I'm honest. It did do that. So I'm going to define the keys because although I like the keys, I want to use different keys. Fire to continue. Choose three different keys. Yes. Go ahead. Left, right, jump. That's cool. We've got left, right, and jump. Right, okay. So let's press fire to begin. No! Oh, P's pause. You idiot. I'm going to have to get rid of P. I forgot P was pause. So you lose lives at the bottom there. There's a little dance. You've also got food. You see the lives go, but the lives just kind of disappear off, which is quite a nice feature because you just keep going from where you are. The thing disappears, the lives disappear, and then you do that. And I've done this several times before. And we go. We'll walk around for a bit for a while. Here we go. There's a test tube there. I like how busy the rooms are. It's very Spectrum for me, this. It's very much the 80s, making a busy room. But I mean, look at the number of sprites going there. The Amstrad CBC had less because of they reduced the overall look of it. But the Spectrum has so many sprites and so many things going for it. It's really good. Oh no, I'm stuck here. I might have to wait for it to die. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait for him to die, energy-wise. I wonder if I jump a lot, whether or not that uses energy. Oh, God, that's terrible. Yeah, I'm going to jump. I think jumping helps. I'm going to have to change them keys again. I can't believe I just did that. But what a good game. I know we didn't get Rocky Horror Picture Show, Rocky Horror Show, but we have got Dynamite Dan. This is a good one. This is well worth going. I managed to, this is the bizarre thing about it. So I managed to get, because I was looking for it desperately to do it on my channel, I managed to get the Crash version, you know, because it came on Crash Smash tape, or it's Crash tape, you know, one of the ones where they did the 4-packs of them, which was always a bit weird because printing wasn't particularly good on them. I managed to get it on that, and I was like, great, I've got the game. And then I managed to get a copy of the original sort of single covered version of this, and it didn't work, so I couldn't load it off it. And obviously, I mean, I can still do a video because I can still use PlayZX or something like that to load it. And then I finally got another copy of it where it actually worked, and I was really delighted with that. Actually, I was quite pleased with the whole, you know, getting hold of a copy of Dynamite Dan. It was just one of those games that I was desperate to kind of get, and I love the complexity of the rooms, the sort of dynamics of it. You know, from the pipes at the top of the screen, in the middle of the screen there, that are in pink going down, the weird trampettes that are there. The sort of, you know, if this is his house, this is what he lives with. These crazy bugs going up and down with their little eyes either side, you know, little mouths. I'm assuming they're bugs. They look like bugs. And diamonds flying around, and sort of weird versions of vacuum cleaners with single arms, or some kind of Red Dwarf type scooter, but it's not really a scooter because obviously they hadn't been invented by the time this was out. But the point is that it's always been a sort of a beautiful looking game, and as I say, when I first played this on the Amstrad CPC, I was absolutely taken by it. I was taken by the looks of it. And the Spectrum version is just as beautiful. I mean, it does look gorgeous. I mean, it really does. I mean, there's colours everywhere. There's no messing around. Let's just no care in the world about colour clash. I love the no care in the world about colour clash, but at the same time, with that care, where they try and attempt to make sure that they don't overlap and the characters aren't clashing here, and that effort that goes into it, I do love that. I think that's beautiful. It's one of my favourite things. You should always check those constructions. I just find it weird, though. One of the things I just found weird, I love it when he comes and kills you. Visited 5 screens. I love the way he's so excited about killing me as well. Aha! I've killed Dan! Right, okay. Don't use... look at that. It says don't use Q or P. So what did I choose? P. That was the way to do it. Go ahead. Right. Left. Right. Space. There's a little nudie ladies on the columns there with the bottom sticking out, look. There we are, little nudie ladies with the bottom sticking out. Anyway, so we can both ways this time around. So there we are, there's our Dan. Let's go for it. It's a good game. It's so nice. But I as I say, I don't mind when they don't worry about colour clash. If you do it right and subtly, it can be very pretty indeed. It doesn't really cause you many problems at all. That's a Cthulhu-esque creature going up and down there, isn't it? You'd expect him to be one of the ancient ones. I'm looking for... I think they randomise where the dynamite is. We're not doing very well here for lives. Oh my god, there's lots of donners. There's some food. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, that's no good. Look at the rooms, though. They're so vibrant and loud. It is a good game, this one. It is one worth... I'm going to die here. Visited 6 rooms! Yeah! Definitely one to be mapped, though. I don't know if anybody's ever finished this. This is the kind of game that I feel if you've finished it and you've done well on it, you've done really well. Oh, I'm delighted this popped up on this. But after last week's sort of trauma, I needed to visit a special ward for after all of those failures. It's actually quite nice to. It's like I collected all those guys there, didn't I? It's actually quite nice to get on something that's actually working. It's very well animated, Dan, as well. He's, there's a stick. Oh. How do I get up there? I think I have to be high to begin with. Do. Oh, I've got to be on there. Nope, not going to happen, is it? We're going to have to wait for this, and then we're going to go down. I'm going to go down. We're going to go further down. I want to see what happens when we go further down. Oh, just might drop. Oh, we can see another room, look. Get a couple more rooms visited. Look at that for a drop. Look at that! Look at those cool rooms, though. Graphically stunning. And I died. I like the way it did it. Like sort of like I don't know what's it called? It's like Booty's type song, wasn't it? Horn. I don't know whatever it is. Some kind of boating song. That really narrowed it down, didn't it? No. Oh, I tried to miss him. No! Oh well, at least I made it onto there. Maybe get a drink from over here. Oh my god. Oh, I got dynamite! I found the dynamite. I didn't see that. I bet you're all shouting the screen that there was a dynamite there. Okay, across we go to creatures. After I've done all this, I'm going to have to go out and get some folders for my wife because she needs some for her knitting. She's been knitting. I don't know if you saw my... I put it on my Twitter page the other day. I might put a link in the description below. Twitter page the other day. She knitted a cover, a ZX Spectrum cover for a friend of mine, actually. It wasn't for me. It was for a friend of mine. And a lovely chap, and hopefully he's got it. Actually, you should have got it. If you're watching right now, Daryl, you should have got it. So a lovely sort of cover for the whole thing, beautifully designed with the Sinclair logo on it and the colours and whatever else. It's very nice indeed, very pretty. Well worth the effort, and she designed it all herself. She designed it also. She had a picture that she then translated into the whole thing. It's very, very impressive work as well. But I have to go out and get her some folders for her patterns. She had me on on eBay buying a collection of folders the other day, and a collections of vintage knitting pads very cheaply. There was like 40 of them. I think this is the thing. Sometimes you can pick through them, whatever else it is. There's a real market for them as well. It's bizarre. So she had me doing that. So I will have to, after What's the Tape's finished, I'm going to have to go out and make the effort to go and get these folders for her. So just as a special gift, thank you for making the nice thing that she did. So well, right, let's give this a try with the tape play thingy that we've got. You know, the tape converter from the other tape to this tape. Okay, let's give this a whirl. Right, okay. In the tape drive, press the play. Load dip. So this is School Days. School Days. Is it a sequel to Back to School? Or is this the first one? I can never remember. Can't remember which order this goes in. Is this the first one? Second one? Could be the second one. Oh, good signal. Good strength. There we go, School Days. I gave the tape drive a damn good clean in this machine. I was like, we're going with the grey one. The grey one is going to be the one. It's going to be the master of the universe. It's actually been we're doing. No, it's not going to happen. That's a weird one that doesn't work like that. Actually, right, I'll stop that one. We might have to fast forward on from that one, but we're going to swap. We're going to swap to the PlayZX, the special thing that we've got for it. So let's just do that. Let's put School Days on. I'm sure School Days is here. School Days has to be here. School Days is definitely one of those things that's definitely going to be on PlayZX. Has to be. I can't believe if it isn't on there. So we'll get that on there. Pop that in for play. Right, let's have a search for School Days. It's school with a K, isn't it? Yeah. Not that you can help me. If only it was live. School Days. Oh, lovely. Shorter load, please. There we go. Stop. Rewind. Stop. Play it. There we go. Right. School Days. This is a bit of a classic, but it's such a weird game in the sense of the amount of keys. There's another one, Sam Cruise. That's one I'm looking for with the original cover. I've got the re-release. I think actually somebody sent it to me. Actually, I think it possibly was Daryl, a nice gentleman who's got the cover coming to him. I'm hoping it's arrived actually, because I hope he doesn't watch this video and go, "Oh, it hasn't arrived yet." I am actually hoping quite a lot that you've got that, Daryl. So, but if you haven't, it's in the post, mate. I'll put it in the post yesterday afternoon, so fingers crossed. Anyway, it was Sam Cruise and sort of School Days. These all kind of really complex in the sense of the number of buttons to press to do things, because there's like a kiss button, there's a punch button, there's a right on board button, there's a fire your catapult button. There's lots of jumps, left, right, up, down, sit down at a chair button, a search button, I think. There's lots of buttons in it. Sam Cruise is very similar. Sam Cruise just had this beautiful 20s noir look to it, and even for a game as old as they are, you've got to, I hate to say this, but you've got to look at these and go, people can go, they look old, they don't, they do and they don't. On the scale of things, if you go back to the ZX81, the graphics on that are less impressive. They're still impressive for a 1K machine, but they're less impressive than you get with the ZX Spectrum, and it's just because I guess it's got more memory and easier resources to use, and that less than because that 1K is shared with video RAM. Same with the Spectrum itself. But the leaps and bounds that come with the whole thing, rather than just being black and white like the ZX81. It's just amazing. The leaps from the end of the 70s, where you got things like the Odyssey, which was in the UK was the video packs, sort of 1979 that was in the UK. And then the leaps from there to the end, when we get the 16-bit generation sort of starting to turn up on force in the mid 80s to sort of the end of the 80s with the arrival of the Super Nintendo in 91, the Mega Drive in 1989. I mean, these are amazing things. These are transitionally and graphically and sound-wise. Those changes are just phenomenal. They're huge. They're just huge. But these guys were good. The Commodore 64, the Spectrum, the Amstrad CPC, the BBC, the Acorn Electron. They were all good. They had beautiful games on it, and gameplay still counts. Sound still counts that these things had, and the look and the feel of them still count to this day. I mean, the fact that it's almost seems retro to go with these more pixelated things in modern gaming kind of strikes back to the fact that these were actually so influential. I'm not suggesting some of these designers, I'm quite sure, didn't grow up with these graphics, but it's there. It's part of their history. And if you're a Brit, I mean, we should almost force every child in Britain at school to study the life and times of the Spectrum in their primary school years. And I don't even think it's called primary school anymore, but whatever it is. But they should almost be forced to study at least the micro itself, you know, from the BBC and the Spectrum and that our version of the American sort of crash of games, which didn't really happen in the UK, but it did happen in America. But our clashes were that of which was better. The Acorn and the Sinclair things, the Amstrad things, all things that happened within this country that were really good stories, and stories that should be part of our national curriculum, because it shows why the British industry, gaming industry, is so strong. It is a very strong industry indeed. These are the games that created that. These are the things that we did to make things better. These were the games that kept us entertained. This is the bedroom industries. This is what created millionaires and billionaires in the UK in the gaming industry. So for me, it's kind of sad to see a lot of those now in the United States and being bought over by American companies. But let's not talk about Codemasters. And I know it changed as a company a long time ago, but that was a great British company that no longer is British. So it's like a lot of things. But anyway, right, okay. So this is our school. I'm sure this is the first. This is the first one. School days is the first one. Back to school is the second one. Coffee time. 1 second. Oh, that was good. Actually, sorry, it was a big sup there. I was really enjoying that one. One more, because it was really good, that. It was a nice cup of coffee. It's been sitting and chilling for a little bit. I'm kind of cool with lukewarm, you know. Never really had a problem with lukewarm. Some people need to have their coffee so that it burns the taste buds off their mouth. But me, I've always been cool with cool coffee, because it's kind of my way I've always worked. I've almost always ended up when it's cold when I get to it. So it's good. Right. Oh, look, it's a gym. You've got to go to the gym. There's lessons and classrooms. And this is where I get to put people's names in, I think, as well, don't I? Oh, that was good. Right, press the key. Do you want to input your own names? I would say yes normally, but it is what's on the tape and we've got lots to do, so I'm going to say no. There's also distinct characters. So there's my character in the middle. Don't let Angel Face touch you. Playtime. He's got mumps. Oh, right, okay. Press U if you understand. Yes, I do understand. Thank you very much. That's me sitting down. What's left and right? Right, so Angel Face is the so you can knock out the kids. That's a SWAT. There, that's a SWAT. There's one of the teachers. I can't remember what it is. Mr. Elvis or something like that. You have mumps, Eric. Go home at once. This game is over. What? I actually lost the game because Angel Face hit me. Angel Face is the bully, by the way. No. I can't. It's unbelievable that. S sits down, by the way. The buttons are the look, watch. But Angel Face better not have mumps again. No, he doesn't this time round. But you can see S sits. I can't remember what he's called. He's like the athlete, isn't he? Is T to talk? I think Q goes upstairs. Yeah, Q goes upstairs. So we've got, what we're trying to do is open the safe to get our what's jump? J to jump. We're trying to open the safe, and to do that, you've got to collect all of these, or activate all of these shields by hitting them in some way. I think you can use, what's the catapult? There's a catapult. They're sitting on the stairs. I never knew you could sit on the stairs. Does anybody else know you could sit on the stairs? By the way. Catapult. There's one. Can I get another one, or is it just going to hit the same one? It's going to hit the same one. But you see, there's a catapult. It gets one of them. And you've got to get all of these things, as I say, to there's another one. To achieve, to beat the game, basically. So, how do I go down? It's QA, OP, and downwards is to one of those, so that's okay. C for catapult, by the way. I used to have to write all these down back in the day. Yeah, okay, we want to go down there. There we go, down, 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 down. So you can get a few of them by catapulting them early on. I remember this. See, that's a catapult one and all. Boom. They're the easy ones, you see. But once you've got this, I think it gives you the code for the safe. And you've got to open the safe. I hate school, he says on the board. What lesson are we at? Mr. Wacker, exam room. I think the exam room is here. This room over here. I think it's this one. I was sitting near to the front because I'm SWAT. Mr. Wacker, I think, is the headmaster. Right, okay, here he comes. Come on, chaps, settle down. Look at that cool teacher up there with his finger. Oh, that was a big crash. Okay, on we go. It was a big crash. It exploded. It all exploded in flames. It said clear, and then it exploded. That'll teach Mr. Wacker. But anyway, School Days, well worth playing. Definitely a game that you should, if you don't have in your collection, you most definitely should get in your collection. I'm going to fast forward and put the tape back in the drive. The only problem with the production line, a machine Spectrum +2 was that that it had a bit of a low volume with its tape, so it was a little bit lower volume than the +2 A and B, and obviously not as highly volumed as anything where you got attached tape. So there was a small issue with it. It wasn't awful, but it was there. That's still loading. Fingers crossed. We're about halfway through, actually. We're doing okay for a change. We're doing okay. I would like to have got Rocky Horror Picture Show to load, though, for you. It's getting there. I remember my friend showing me this, his production line. He got one late in the Spectrum's life. I think it was 1986 these arrived, was it? 86, 87, the production line. And he had one of the first ones, and I had still got a 48K Spectrum at the time. And I went round to his house, and obviously I had my Spectrum for about 4 years. And he showed me, and he loaded, and all at once, Target Renegade. Blew my mind that you could load it all at once without having to load levels. I mean, seriously, you didn't have to load levels It loaded all at once. Target Renegade, absolutely superb. Very quiet now. That's not necessarily a good sign. That could be all over. Can't be all over already. We get some good games, and then it's over. Do you know what? It could be, you know. This means I'm going to have to go find the Rocky Horror Picture Show for you. I think there's a 128k version of it, isn't there? Or I may be wrong. Yeah, but it blew my mind. Target Renegade on a 128k machine. Oh, sublime. Absolutely sublime. The music, the game itself. Oh, it's a cracking game. And the thing is, though, I mean, I like Renegade. Let me get the. I want to get this in great context, right? Renegade is the best arcade conversion of an arcade game ever on any machine ever, right? In the sense of that it isn't exactly arcade perfect. It's actually its own game, its own right. It's better than the arcade version, without a single shadow of a doubt. And I'll stand by that. Target Renegade, is the best arcade conversion. Now, Target Renegade was the sequel to to Renegade, and as such, I think that's it. I think the tape is finished. There's no more data on it. We're definitely gonna have to get the other tape out. I'm gonna have to find the Rocky Horror Picture Show. But Target Renegade is the best arcade beat 'em up on the ZX Spectrum, bar none, because it is created after Renegade. It's inspired by Renegade, but it's not Renegade because, well, it is Renegade, but it's not Renegade as in a sequel to an arcade game that it's copying from. So it makes it the best. So they are both equally good for similar but different reasons in my mind. I'm sure there'll be a few people who will either disagree or argue with me over this one, but I do honestly believe that Renegade is one of the best, arcade conversions ever. In fact, it's better than the arcade that it came from. Target Renegade is the best two-player inspired sequel to that one that wasn't an arcade game. Bar none. They're just amazing. But as I say, Target Renegade, blew my mind. And the fact that you didn't have to load levels. I'm still testing this tape, by the way, to see if there's anything else on it. No, there's nothing else on it. Right, okay, I need to go find you a copy of Rocky Horror Picture Show. So you stay there. I'll be back in a second. Okay, we're just finishing off loading. We can't be far away now. It's certainly coming quite quickly from PlayZX anyway. I couldn't find my copy of it. I went for a dig, bro. But to be honest, I've got a big pile of rubbish that... Do you know when you do these pickups? I don't mind doing these pickup videos. I do them occasionally. But the problem is I pick up so much junk most of the time that unfortunately, if I don't do it there and then, it just piles sky high. And I quite like, and I'll be honest with you, I actually do like to play it and test it and try it and do whatever else. I mean, here's the thing. This is how worrying it is. If you go back to March last year, I got a Sega Dreamcast, and I haven't even got round to showing it off. And it came with some sealed games and everything. And it came with the only other way to get Virtual Fighter 3, which is bar having an arcade machine, which is the Dreamcast version. That's the only other way to get it. And I got this lovely device and this lovely machine, and I collected a bunch of games, and I got a few others from some lovely other members of the retro community, and I've got quite a stack of Dreamcast bits and pieces, and it didn't really do it. Anyway, you put your hands on your hips, bring your knees tight together, and do the pelvic thrust. It really drives you insane. Let's do the time warp again. Right, we're not repeating it though. We're going to go play the game. Right, enter at your own risk. So this is the manor where they break down and I can't remember what they're called. Brad and Jane, is it? Brad and... I can't remember. The young lady that's in it. Well, it's going to say us now, actually. It's Brad and somebody or other, because you have to choose. This is actually quite one of those games where you can be male or female, which is quite surprising. So Brad and Janet. I was going to say Jane. I'm sure it's Janet. So let's be Janet. Okay, keyboard. Yes, that's what we want. Press the enter key. Right, okay, so... There we go, that's us. So what we've got to do is our partner, Brad, has been frozen by what's known as the Medusa machine, and the way we've got to do it is get the parts of the de-Medusa machine. Now these parts, he says, picking up the key, because you need keys for things, these parts are like that. So that's a de-Medusa part. So we need to go find our friend Brad. Now he's in the main hall, while avoiding all of the strange individuals that live within the house. I don't know why would she doing a funny run there. She's getting excited. Look, she's got a little... Don't know why she's doing that. Anyway, within the time limit. So the time limit's at the bottom of the screen, which is saying 96 at the moment. And it doesn't take long for it to go down, to be honest. So we lift this up, and there's poor old Brad. He's running madly as well. So basically, we've got to fill up this machine. I can't remember how many parts there are. I can probably work it out. Is it 4 levels? So 3... 1, 2, 3... 3 by... 5, is that? 3 5, 15 parts. 15 parts. God, the maths there. My brain was absolutely confused. So we basically got to get all these parts in here to de-Medusify them and then escape the building. Simple as that. And when the room gets too warm, Eddie, who's played by Meatloaf in the movie, Eddie comes back to life and starts cycling around the place. And you can go back and deep freeze him again. See the freezer at the bottom of there? We've got to deep freeze him. Got to keep him frozen because he's really dangerous. Let's go up on the lift. Because everybody house, but he said, there was Eddie. Did you see Eddie? Right. There's some really weird touches to it, but I kind of liked it. Back in the day, I was quite a fan of... There he is. And as I say, if they touch you, they steal your clothing, because it is kind of that sort of game where freezing and taking your clothes off is kind of the thing. So, uh-oh. This is the... Well, I can't remember what he is. He's something else as well. Oh, it's such a weird game. Alright. There's Riff Raff, though. The Riff Raff... I remember Riff Raff being the... Oh, must have come back on just as I got across it. I got zapped. I got zapped just as it came across. I remember Riff Raff being the worst part about it, though. The little guy Riff Raff. Do you remember Riff Raff? He's kind of like the butler, but he's also played by the Richard O'Brien himself. That's what Riff Raff is. Let's see if we can open this door. No, I've got a key for it. You need keys to open the doors. That's what the keys are for. And it randomises where the parts are, by the way. This is the sort of drug-induced room in there. We'll go get that one in the moment. As I say, very weird. Not seen it in years, though. I should really have a look. This is a very weird room, this one, if we get in here. Look at that. That's really weird, isn't it? Psychedelic mushroom room. If you get hit by one as well, it's really bad for you. You kind of walk in funny directions. Yeah. Drug-related room. And as you can see, there's sometimes parts in here. Get out the door! I can't get out the door. There we go, we're out. Thank goodness for that. Right, let's take this piece to the machine. And we'll see if we can save Janet a little bit. I don't know why he keeps walking up and down. Can't remember what she's called. She's got a name as well. She's the sort of mad maid of some sort. It's, I say, proper weird. Proper weird game, but actually plays really well. It's pretty good fun. Because it's doable. You know, the thing about the games of the 80s is they were often extremely hard. And the one thing about this game is it's hard-ish. Oh, I've been defrocked. So I don't think I can drop this on here unless I've already got it and I can do it. Yeah, I can do. But you can't pick any more parts up. You see, poor old Janet's in knickers now. Look, there she is. Sort of, both sort of doing sit-ups and whatever else it is, but Janet's in poor Janet's in her underpants. But because we've not got any clothes on now, we can't actually pick any... Oh, we can pick things up. I never thought you could pick things up when you were in the nude. Oh, we'll work in the nude then. Don't let Janet see my bum. You know, it's that's what she might see my bum before. And she's meant to be my girlfriend, isn't she? So, right. So we got to go collect these parts. And at some point, we've got to find our clothes. I don't think we can escape without our clothes. I think that's one of the factors as well. Didn't know you could still pick things up without your clothes on, though. I just thought you couldn't. I thought that was one of the real the drags of the game. Just noticed round that his round Brad's body there. There's like a little outline around it as well. Don't kill me. You've only got one life as well. Yeah, that's pretty harsh. Especially when we went, but you can't, don't think you can climb ladders in the nude? Probably can't climb ladders in the nude. I suspect climbing ladders is completely out in the nude. As collecting parts of the game is in, but climbing ladders is out. Uh-oh, there's Riff Raff. And there's Frankenfurter. Riff Raff will finish you off in one shot. This isn't easy having a good time. It isn't easy having a good time. Game's a bit glitching out though. Do you see that? I'm struggling a little bit with it glitching out. Look. Let's see where Riff Raff is, and we'll try and avoid getting killed. Because Riff Raff can really kill you really easily with his laser. Isn't easy having a good time. Yeah, Riff Raff's the one to watch out for. There's a few ones that you have to watch out for, and he's one of them. You know, he can really put a crimp on the way that the game plays. It's glitching out a bit. I think it's not working particularly well, to be honest with you. I can't remember what the maid was called. Can you remember what the maid was called? She had a specific name as well. She's played by one of them actresses that always played the kind of crazy maid. I can't remember the name of the actress, as I say. So we got that one. De-Medusa machine, because you've been frozen solid. Say, very weird. Let's see if we can get in this lift and go up. I don't think we can climb ladders. I think that's the big one. I think that the ladder climbing is the big issue. We need to refreeze Eddie because he's annoying. Oh no, I can climb ladders too. Oh, it's completely confused me now. It's going to come back on. So you can climb ladders in the nude and everything. It's nothing you can't do in the nod. Oh well. There he comes. I'm going to see if I can sneak past the creature or whatever it was. Get into the next room and see if I can actually get... There's another one of those. It says do not press, and it says do not press again when you press it. Which is, I think, is quite funny. Uh-oh. Can't run into them when you're doing that. I think the first time I actually played this was not on the Spectrum. I think it was on the... There we go, got it. No, don't... God, that was close. I think it was on the Amstrad CPC, actually. It was my friend who had this. I think that was the first time I played it. It was on the Amstrad. Let's go push the button that says do not press. Do not press again. It says drug-induced room. There we go. The drug room. Weird. Oh no, I've got stuck in the room. That's one of the things about this room. It's really difficult to get in and out of. It's not the most fun in that sense of getting it. I've got out of it and then I got back into it. You got to kind of go up at it and then... Ah! Right, I'm gonna end there, but I have a bit of a bonus for us. I think, you know, I thought you've been so good. You've been so good. I've got a bit of a bonus. I want to do this last one because I saw it recently. It's released recently. I think it was released a little while ago, if that makes sense. So or not that long ago, but where have I put it? Where have I put it? I put it there. There we go. Select that. Let's do this. Right, so I wanted to show you this because this has been released. I think it was this year, actually. It was released. I think it's an upgrade on the version that was previously there. I'll put a link in the description below for it, and you can have a little look. Now, it's apparently a very, very good conversion of an arcade game of back in the day. An arcade game that, there we go, it's given itself we're Space Invaders, and I just like the look of it because of the fact it's a homebrew that's been made, and I thought I'd show you this as a little bit of a bonus. It's because it's got the loading screen from there, and as I've often said in my videos before, this is kind of the game that got me playing, computer games in the first place. This is the game that started me in 1979. Playing computer games. This is the one. And however, if this had been a Spectrum release back in the day, I think we'd have been blown away because it's almost, well, it's pretty much arcade perfect from what I've seen of it. I haven't actually played it, so you're going to see it first time with me as well. And we're going to give this a little whirl. Look at that. There's that machine and that alien on the side of it. It's really cool, isn't it? That sort of rawr that goes on the edge of it. That's brilliant. I like that. So yeah, we're going to see it together, and we'll have a little play of Space Invaders. Got to press K to put the keys into it. I'll put it below in the link in the description below of how to get it yourself, so you can download it. It's on itch.io or something similar. Itch.io. I don't know how you pronounce that one. There's kind of like a free combination of free and indie developers and whatever else. It's another sort of digital downloadable service but it kind of does things that you don't get like on Steam and Epic and whatever else it is. I see Epic's got 2 games up for grabs this month actually. If you haven't already grabbed them, please feel free to grab them. Not that you need my permission, but it's there. I hope you didn't miss out on Hellpoint though on GOG. If you're a fan of Dark Souls or Dark Souls-like games, that was a good one to collect. That was a really weird one. Sort of waking up as Hellspawn on board a gigantic space station of some sort that's plummeting through space, surrounded by the corpses of the dead and sort of general weird and wonderful sort of perversions of creatures. Well worth having a look at, definitely. I hope you did pick that one up because it was a freebie recently from GOG, and I picked it up and I was quite surprised. If I'd seen it last year when it was first released, I would have probably bought that. So lucky I got it free. So anyway, yeah, some good stuff recently that's been given away free from a lot of people. There was Little Nightmares on Steam as well. That was good. That was another good one. But anyway, back to Spectrum games. So 1970, 79, a dirty old pub with people drinking and a Space Invaders machine with that logo painted on the edge of it. In the colour version, not the black and white one, so it was slightly newer because it was 1979 for a start off. And to be fair, the fact that it got out of Japan and all the way to my tiny little town in the darkest areas of the English North. It's utterly amazing, to be honest with you. I'm actually surprised we ever saw an arcade machine. But by then, of course, we were soon sort of onto the Spectrum, and everybody wanted one for school, wasn't it? Do you remember that? It's kind of that. There was that pressure for kids to have a computer for school because it's like the future, and it was the future. Let's be honest, it was the future. It's what we all ended up playing on in the future. it's what we played games on. It's what we worked on. It's all the bits and pieces that went with it. So yeah, no, good as it was. Keys for keyboard, OP and cap shift. Right, press. So if I press K, that puts a credit in. Yeah, there we go. And then press 1 to play. That's it. And then cap shift should be fire. Oh yeah, that's silky smooth. That's. How does it fire through there? I just sort of shoot all the way through though. Normally you would just gouge a little hole through it. Oh, that's a silky smooth version of it, isn't it? Yeah, you've got to appreciate the effort that's gone into this one. This is slick. I'm waiting for a UFO to go across the top. That's good. I like it. I do like Space Invaders. Recently, if you're a Switch user, and I do approve of the Switch as a retro gaming thing, as well as a sort of a console where you've still got a collection if you're a collector. I do approve of the Switch. I bought it. I pre-ordered it back in November last year. I got Space Invaders Invincible, which includes 11 versions of Space Invaders. Well, I say 11 versions of Space Invaders, even they cheat a little bit. There are some things like Lunar Lander, which is not really Space Invaders, but it is Space Invaders, if that makes sense. Oh god, I want to check something here. As I go across, can I go off? Can I go right to the edge of the screen? Nah, they don't. Right, okay. Oh, God. Can't get my time in. Got it. Got him. Yes. That was cool. Enjoyed that. Good score. That's a good. This is a lush version of it. We'd have been very impressed by this back in the day. If we'd got a version like this, we'd have been well impressed. Not that the Spectrum wouldn't have been capable of it, because realistically, the hardware involved in the original Space Invaders is very limited. It wasn't very powerful at all. I mean, the whole going faster as the number of sprites changed came down to the fact that the hardware itself, once there was less sprites there to process, would go faster. So it was able to process the single sprites that were left, or the few sprites that were left, faster. That's why when you get to the last one and it whizzes across the screen at full speed, it's because there's plenty of processing power available to do that. I'm just clearing them off. Come on. I'm really enjoying this one. Definitely recommend this one, actually. Definitely recommend this. I mean, there was... Oh, damn, I was trying to get to the UFO. I wanted to shoot the UFO. Oh, it made me wait for the UFO to go across. Game over. Game over. That was me just chasing across the screen for no good reason. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. Anyway, next week, another tape. Got some interesting ones for you. I gulped there, by the way. I could manage to swallow some phlegm while I was talking so loudly and frequently to myself. But I've got some interesting ones coming up next week. Some real attempts to emulate what they were copying, if that makes sense. So some really nice sort of covers and interesting bits and pieces. So some good ones coming up. Don't forget to make a choice on the hits on the computer hits 1 or 2. That's for the end of the season. And I'll see you soon. Bye now.